Alright everyone, I decided to do a 2021 recap video. Very last minute, as in it is currently 2022. So, a little bit behind the 8 ball on that, but we're going to make it happen anyway. I was scrolling through some of the YouTube channel stuff. Man, it's been a crazy year on YouTube. It's kind of the first year, like full year, I've really dedicated some time to the YouTube channel. And we've grown like somewhere in these, I think 1,300 subscriber area. The channel became monetized in August, which is great. Obviously, it's not really why I'm doing the channel, but that is a big part of it. This is definitely motivation to continue doing the stuff on the YouTube channel. But it was really cool. You guys followed along through me doing the trans install on the Mustang, the Haltech install, breaking the stock engine record, and then the stuff we progressed after that. I'll touch on that more in a second. All the cars we dyno tuned during the year, I pretty much put a video up of every car that I tuned that we completed the session. There's a lot of cars that come in that, you know, will max the fuel system out, or will have boost control problems, or just other odds and ends, you know, new builds that have their growing pains, right? So a lot of that stuff doesn't make it on the channel. But pretty much I think everything but maybe a handful of cars, maybe less than 5 cars that I tuned made it on the YouTube channel this year. So we've got 100 dyno videos on there of different cars I tuned over this last year, which is pretty cool. I typically try to do 2 cars a week, so 100 cars, like I said, makes sense. Yeah, so let's go through some of this stuff. Probably some of my favorite moments, obviously, were breaking the stock engine record here with the blue car. That was a huge thing for us. We'd been working towards that for a couple years, been through a couple 6R80s, finally decided to put the Turbo 400 in it. And our second week out with the 400, we were able to break the stock engine record. So here's a little video of that. Alright, the next big thing we did, as far as what I thought was a big thing, is we got invited to go to Pikes Peak. Thank you to my wife. She she does PR for Paul Dallenbach. So I got invited to tag along, and they let me dive in as part of the crew for that weekend that week up at Pikes Peak. So I posted videos daily of the different practice sessions, qualifying day, and race day on the channel too. If you haven't checked that out, I'll link the playlist up top here so you guys can check that out a second. But that was a huge thing for us. That was cool. We broke the open wheel qualifying record, and then we won the open wheel class. I say we, I was, you know, hands on a bit, but obviously I was just a member of the team there. So that was a cool. All right, we're set up on the bottom section today. This is qualifying day. So they didn't really talk about it much yesterday. How these runs work is everybody runs up to the top of the section,
turns around and comes back. So it's kind of a, you know, it's not mandatory runs. You just get in line and run as many times as you can in the time frame allowed before the park opens back up. So same thing with qualifying. Depending on how many cars are running, we'll typically get, you know, 3 to 5 attempts. So we will see how that goes. Guys made a couple changes to the car overnight. And yeah, hopefully the thing's happy. We got heat into the engine already. Warmers are on it. We're ready to go. So see how it goes. Before it gets too crazy up here, another morning up here, just wanted to show you guys the views. It's just so cool. I never get over this. Check out the clouds out there. See if I can zoom in on that a bit. Look at that. We're like level with the cloud ceiling there. Pretty crazy. Or at least it looks like it from here. But yeah, definitely cool.
After that, man, here's some more tuning videos we did. We tuned a bunch of cars this year. Here's some of my favorite cars I tuned this year, just more unique setups. And I'll tell you a little story about this Evo in just a second. Cool thing that we did with this Evo that didn't make it in the video was, so my dyno is all-wheel drive dyno, obviously. So the dyno software has 2 modes. You can put it in all-wheel drive mode when you're in all-wheel drive, or 2-wheel drive mode when you're in 2-wheel drive. Well, if you tune a car, dyno a car in 2-wheel drive mode, an all-wheel drive car, I'm sorry, if you tune an all-wheel drive car in 2-wheel drive mode, the numbers that you get are greatly less, right? It's like, I think, a little over 20% less is what the numbers will be given on the screen. The dyno will load the car relatively similar as far as you're not wasting your time tuning it. So we went through that whole tuning process on Dylan's Evo with the dyno and 2-wheel drive on purpose just to mess with them. So it's I can't remember what turbo's on the car, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, through the tuning process, we were making like mid 500 wheels, and this thing's like maxed out, right? It's making a lot more power than that, obviously. But we didn't tell Dylan that. He'd go over and look at the screen, and he'd kind of just look at us and kind of nod and walk away, you know. And Jeremy and I, the guy that actually tunes the car, I just operate their car in the dyno. Jeremy and I were like laughing, having a good go at it, right? It's a good time. And then we finally switched the thing over once we had the tune nailed in. We switched the dyno over to auto drive mode to give an actual number, and it made a little over 800 of the wheel. And Dylan was like so ecstatic. It was a really cool thing just to be messing with him. We were having a good time with that. After that, we went to, I guess the next biggest thing for me would have been the NMRA race, where I won the 10-0 bracket in True Street. That was cool. I tried my hand at some bracket racing. If you follow along with that stuff, I didn't make it real far, which is typical of my bracket racing career. So after the NMRA thing, that was a cool deal for us. We're the presenting sponsor for the event. Again, that's something that my wife sets up all of that. The shop just funds it, but she does all the logistical side of it in her spare time along with her day job. So I can't emphasize how much of a big help she is in the whole NMRA race thing, and a lot of the social media stuff we do. All the passes that we take from behind the car of my personal car are all videos that my wife takes. So shout out to her. She's a badass for sure. After the NMRA race, I think the next coolest thing for me was the Scrudge race with Dylan in that same Evo. Those are a group of buddies from Anti-Lag Racing from the east side of Michigan here. And we set some times up with them. They'll bring 2 or 3 cars over at a time. We'll put them on the dyno. But I also do all of their engine work. So this Evo has an engine we built in it, whatever, as in most of their other. Dylan ended up beating me, but just the smack talk beforehand and then racing your buddy, and it was a big deal for Dylan to beat me. That was cool. He said that at one point told the guys there that was the highlight of his year, and I thought that was that really meant a lot that he looked up to me that much, that beating me was the highlight of his season, so that's really cool. And then this little clip I made of Warren was a good time. I put this on Facebook, and it got all kinds of attention just picking on him a little bit.
Let's check on Dylan, see if he's ready. Oh, squirrel. Oh, squirrel got away. Alright, let's do this. We're ready. GoPro set. Air pressures are set. Boost is turned up. Oh, what was that? Fly? It wasn't a fly. Why am I wearing a shirt? Who's seen my Speedo? Where's my Speedo? Fly again. Anybody else see that fly? Got my arm, things in my nose. Alright, let's go racing. Where's my Speedo? Anybody? Can you see my Speedo? Anybody? No, it's not up here. I don't see it anywhere. Man, what's taking so long? We're ready to do this. Let's go racing, do some racing. Alright, we're getting close. Really should take my shirt off. Oh, wait. What's that? Who tightened that wheel? Somebody put air in that thing? What's going on? Oh, well.
Yeah, after that, we took the car to, the next biggest thing, I guess, was we took the car to the PRI show, which was cool. Last minute invite, kind of a scramble, but again, something my wife, Jessie, set all of that stuff up. I literally just showed up with the car. We set it up, got it in place. That was cool to see everybody, talk to a bunch of people from different manufacturers, and just spend the week out in Indianapolis. It's one of our favorite cities. We try to go there a lot, but we haven't been able to with COVID and all the other stuff, right? But that was a good week. We had a good time with that. So yeah, I mean, moving forward, if you follow the build channel or the build series I've got, the playlist I've got going on the blue car, you'll know I'm putting a 94mm charger on it rather than the 80mm. We're doing a lot of other odds and ends. I'm going to do an ABS delete, which I'm hoping to get started on here when I finish doing this video for you guys. And then on the other side of the shop stuff, as far as the YouTube channel is concerned, I want to do some videos a little bit differently, maybe with a little bit less time lapse, a little bit more videos of me just working, running the machines, that kind of stuff. I don't do a lot of machine work videos in the summertime because the dyno's so busy. I'm tuning 2 to 3 cars a week, sometimes more than that. But in the winter, I have a chance to do some machine work videos, so I want to do some more of that. So if there's something you guys want me to talk more about that I do in the shop, please tell me so I can get some video, some content ideas. I sometimes struggle because I've got an engine machine playlist on here. You can check that out. But I feel like doing like boring a block, right? Say boring an LS, and then boring a 4G. It's the same process. It's just a different engine. So I don't know if I'm wasting my time by doing that or not. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind with what I'm going to do on the machine shop side of the world yet. But we're going to continue making the dyno videos. I will post those 1 or 2 a week, depending on how busy we are on the dyno. If I have enough content to do 2 a week, I will continue to do that. And then obviously all the stuff maintaining with the build of the Mustang is going to continue. We're going to grow that into, we're going to reset, our goal anyway, is to reset the stock engine record again. I think the car's got an 830 in it. We've been at 859 in it so far. And then after that, I'm going to do a sleeved aluminum rotted Coyote for it. I'm going to build that with you guys, obviously. And then we're going to do plan is anyway, to do some half-mile stuff with the car this summer. My wife actually has a goal. She wants to drive the car, and she wants to go 200 and a half with it. So we're gonna shoot for that. I believe the fastest female, two-wheel drive female in the half is 226. So that's kind of like my back of the mind goal we've got going on. So be sure to follow along in the channel. Check those other playlists out. I got those things kind of organized in something that makes sense. And then obviously continue to look for new videos and the dyno videos and that stuff. But it's been a great year for us on the YouTube channel and for the business as a whole. And I've really been enjoying the YouTube stuff. I enjoy your guys' feedback. So many people come up to me at the track and be like, yo, hey, I watched your YouTube channel. And I'm like, oh, cool, 1 of 7, right? Like, that's really awesome that people are going out of their way to, like, say hi, say hello. Like, so if you guys see me out and about, please do that. That's really cool. It means a lot to me to, like, on the YouTube channel analytics, like, they're just numbers. So actually meeting people is a super cool thing, and that's, after all, it's why we do this. I think my favorite parts of the sport are really the friends and the family that you create, going to the track, working with your customers. All those relationships are huge. So please come up to me and say hi if you see me. But yeah, I think that's it for this one. I'm going to wrap it up. I've been rambling a bit here. So hope you guys liked our 2021 recap and want to continue to watch what we bring around in 2022. Check it out.